And for more now on how this all plays out and what the fallout could be both for Israel and any potential peace process is Eric Mandel, director of the Middle East Political Information Network. Eric, great to see you as always. Thanks. All right, so first here we are. It's the 11th hour. Will Benjamin Netanyahu and Avigdor Lieberman actually work something out, or will we face a dissolution of the Knesset and new elections?
So nobody knows for sure,
right,
but they have until tomorrow night at midnight. It is in Bibi's interest to do just about anything to make a deal here, because if he doesn't make a deal and it goes to new elections, he will not get that immunity bill, and he will be indicted in the next Knesset. So Lieberman is playing this for all it is. This is pure politics. But there could be something bigger here. So it's not just about an immunity bill. It's not just about Bibi and the will of the people. There is a deal that's happening right now between the secular, traditional, and religious Zionists, and feeling that they have been coerced, extorted for many years by the Haredim. Some people refer to this, Yossi Shane, who's a professor, will we have the Israelization of the Haredim, of the ultra-Orthodox, right, or we'll have the Haredization of Israel? As Lieberman basically says to it, he does not want a theocracy that's there. And becoming a champion now of the seculars is positioning him for what I think he really wants to be, the next prime minister, sooner or later. All
right, so let's talk about that. You and I were just talking about this a moment ago. There was an analysis in Haaretz today saying, basically suggesting that the way to get this all done is to have Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu serve 2 years and then have Lieberman served 2 years. Would that ever happen?
I don't think that's possible. I think there'll be a rebellion within Likud. There's already a rebellion going on in Likud, because with the Kaluni party, Moshe Kalon being put in there and even though they had only 4 mandates, he's giving them 5 places. So the guys on the bottom are being pushed out. So there's already anger. And Gideon Sa'ar, who's really the heir apparent to Bibi, will not stand for us. In fact, it is possible, but if that Rivlin asked Blue and White to put a coalition together and Gideon Sa'ar was able to lead Likud, that they could come to an agreement of a unity government, which might be the best for Israel. It's not the best for Bibi, and unfortunately Bibi has other ideas about this.
All right, so let's say for a second that they can't form the coalition. Let's say that this doesn't work out and we're headed for new elections. What does this have? What kind of impact does this have on the U.S. peace plan that's going to be proposed?
So first of all, we're in uncharted territory. This has never happened in Israel before. The Bahrain conference is going to happen. Mm-hmm. They can't stop that.
But the Palestinians won't be there.
Palestinians won't be there.
China and Russia said that they won't
be there. But again, when a unipolar superpower comes out and puts something on the table, and significant numbers of Sunni Arabs, besides the UAE and Saudi Arabia, if Egypt and Jordan and Morocco decide to join, it will have a foundational impact going forward for when there is a territorial compromise, if that is ever possible, if the Palestinians can ever get there.
How tough a sell is Morocco? Because Jared Kushner went to Morocco to try and say, hey, listen, we want you at the table. Then he's going to be heading to Jordan. Jordan has hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees living within its borders. And then he's heading to Jerusalem this week as well. But Morocco in particular, how hard is it going to be to get them at the table?
I think it's going to be hard to get anybody else at the table, because Morocco is doing fine. It's far away from that region. It does not want to be involved. At one point, it was a leader in bringing Israelis, and you think back in the first Bush era, that you had a Madrid conference, and that he was the one helping to bring some of the people along. So I think every country is going to have a hard time. I think Egypt probably will play a role. Jordan, much, much harder. It's a majority Palestinian country. They all have citizenship there. And the king is basically in a fragile country. So I don't see him wanting to make any bold moves about, even if it's in his advantage. The Jordanians, even though they would never say this out loud, want a Palestinian state much less than the most right-wing Israeli, because that would threaten them, because that could turn into Hamastan. And so Jordan really doesn't want that, but will always say the right things in order to deflect attention from the reality that they have to deal with.
All right, Eric Mandel, it's great to see you as always. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.